Today's the day I finally did it. I finally bought a GoPro. Today, let's talk about the GoPro Hero 10 Black and the reasons why I finally think this is a camera worth purchasing. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Desmond, and I make content for creators that want to take better photos and shoot better videos. And today, we're talking about the GoPro Hero 10 Black. And after all of these years, why I finally think this is a GoPro worth spending my money on. And it's interesting to say that this is the first GoPro I've actually bought, because if you've seen my content before, you know I don't shy away from purchasing camera gear. But I will say that over the years, there hasn't been a GoPro that's come out that's felt like it's been worth my money. I will say I have owned a GoPro before. I didn't buy it myself. For a wedding gift, I got a GoPro Hero Session 4, which was cute. It was a great little camera, but again, I don't think it does the GoPro line justice. But after that, I just never figured I needed or wanted to buy a GoPro up until now. So let's talk about the reasons why I finally purchased a GoPro. First of all, I'm gonna do a more in-depth review with footage and other things that I've learned about this, but let's just quickly talk about my initial thoughts. All right, so let's just start with a given. One of the reasons why I've always wanted a GoPro is because of the build quality and the form factor. GoPros are just so well known for being small, well built, being rugged, and just capable of being great action cameras. But the big reason why I bought the GoPro Hero 10 is because of the new GP2 processor. It is the newest processor that has been released with the GoPro Hero 10. It is so much faster than anything I've seen before. One of the challenges when I was doing research on the GoPro Hero 9 was just how laggy and buggy and just generally unenjoyable the user experience was with that old outdated chip, which I think released with the GoPro Hero 6. So for that many years, it was running on just like really old silicon. And with all the upgrades to frame rates and picture quality and all of the hardware updates, that processor just really couldn't keep up until now. And that leads me to the second reason why I finally got the Hero 10, and it is improved picture resolution and frame rates. Again, made possible by that GP2 processor, but this thing shoots in 5.3K at 30 frames per second at 60 frames per second. And then you can shoot at 4K at 120 frames per second. And that frame rate and resolution in this tiny little camera is a huge reason why I bought this, right? I have bigger cameras like a Sony FX3 that shoots 4K 120 FPS, but it's not built like a GoPro. And that leads me to the third reason. And I know that the other GoPros had it, but Hypersmooth 4.0 and horizon leveling on this camera is incredible. And that digital stabilization horizon leveling, plus the improved processor and the resolutions and frame rates, made this almost a no-brainer for me, especially having put off purchasing a GoPro for so many years. It felt like they finally got it right. Okay, and a couple things that I just want to mention. First, know that I'm going to do a much longer review. I'm going to walk through features, functions, and all the different bells and whistles that come with the Hero 10. But some things that I want to address now, especially while you're doing research on whether or not this is the right GoPro for you. Overheating, that is going to come up a ton in a lot of the reviews that you're watching. There are videos all over the place about it. I will say for me, it is not an issue because I think I use a GoPro like most people who use GoPros in short stints. I don't shoot 20, 45 minute, 1 hour clips with a GoPro. That's why I have a Sony ZV-1 or an FX3. That's why I have a multitude of other cameras designed for long-term shooting. Again, I would probably watch David Manning's video on GoPro overheating issues. I mean, he brought receipts. 75% of GoPro users shoot videos, I think, between like 1 to 2 minutes or something like that. But I don't have any issues with overheating. Another thing that I would say is, although this is a brand new processor and although the user interface is supposed to be a lot more snappy, I think there's room for improvement. It still does like lag on touch sensitivity if you don't hit the buttons right in the right spot of the screen, it's not going to engage. But I think that's okay because I'm not comparing it really to the other GoPro Hero 9 or 8s or 7s. I haven't used them in the past specifically because I've heard those complaints of like slow screen reactions and just buggy software. I think this is probably the fastest and best it's ever been compared to an iPhone or something like that. Obviously not. And then the last thing I will say is low light performance. I think it's a given. Look at the size of this camera. Look at the size of the sensor. It is never going to perform really well in low light or even inside in like dimly lit scenarios. That, I will say, is going to impact your hyper smooth and your horizon leveling. Stabilization on this thing is very much dependent on the shutter speed. So if you have this thing set to auto and you are in a dimly lit situation with like a low ISO maximum, it's going to lower your shutter speed so much so that the digital stabilization won't work. It's just going to be jittery and gross when you're shooting at night or inside. So you have to just think about what your shooting settings are going to be, or else you're going to get crappy results. But that is kind of a given considering how small this sensor is. All right, and that is it. Those are my initial thoughts on the GoPro Hero 10, why I bought it. There's going to be a longer video coming out, plus I got a ton of new stuff in over the last couple weeks that I'm going to review that I'll be throwing up on the channel. And if you want to catch those, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for when the new video drops. All right, I will see y'all in the next one.